There are places in this world that don't appear on maps. Corners where the reality we know begins to fade away between the eternal mist and the piercing cold of the end of the world. You are entering the frequency of Portal Alien, the threshold into the unknown. Today, we travel to Chile, the 1980s, an untamed landscape of fjords, where silence is the only witness. In the shadows of a lonely room, a frequency began to vibrate. It wasn't common interference, nor a call from a fishing boat in distress. It was an electric murmur, a voice carried by a serenity, deeply disturbing, traveling through the 27 MHz spectrum, a signal that no one expected to receive. People spent their nights in front of radio equipment as a hobby, looking for someone to talk to, someone to connect with. Among the static, someone heard something far from usual. Calm voices, speaking of a science that didn't belong to this time. They called themselves the Brothers. They weren't from here, but they knew too much about us. They were men of great stature, hair as white as snow, and a physical perfection that felt unnatural. Standing on forgotten southern docks, they radiated a calm that chilled the blood. They didn't blink like we do. They didn't breathe like we do. They were the inhabitants of friendship, a mysterious organization claiming to hold the key to eternal healing. They remained hidden in the heart of the island, behind an entrance that blended into the landscape, invisible to the naked eye. Only they knew how to enter and how to leave. To reach the island, there was only one way. The ship, Mytilus II. Those who witnessed its arrival speak of a mysterious, pristine vessel, sailing without any known itinerary, appearing randomly in local ports where the invited guests were summoned. The crew was small. They spoke very little, almost nothing, only what was necessary to communicate the basics. Most of those invited were sick, very sick, abandoned by traditional medicine, with nothing left to lose and death on the horizon. They clung to anything. They waited for a miracle. They weren't looking for a human cure. They were looking for the portal that would take them beyond the pain, toward the hope of the Brothers. Crossing the threshold, the world we knew disappeared. The interior was a sanctuary of indirect light, absolute white, and a technology pulsing with a blue glow. It wasn't threatening. It was peaceful. There, time seemed to stand still, and matter reorganized itself under the purity of light. According to the accounts, they practiced a medicine that didn't exist in this world, curing diseases that had no healing. The impact was brutal. It felt like being on another planet, or in a distant future. But the peace of friendship did not go unnoticed. Rumors began to spread, and the search began. Navy ships tried to find out if such a base truly existed, alerted by a breach of sovereignty. Researchers and television programs also launched expeditions to find it, but they never succeeded in locating it. Search efforts intensified, but official records suggest a darker reality. It is whispered that local informants provided deliberately false navigation vectors and spoofed coordinates, a tactical deception designed to ensure no one could ever breach the perimeter of friendship. The sun sets over the same fjords, guarding a secret that no one has been able to decipher. A subtle light flickers in the firmament, reminding us that the island might still be out there. Is the story true, or is it all a collective invention? I am Portal Alien. Don't forget to comment on what you think about this case, and I'll see you in our next story.